We will honor your weekends.
Good to go. Yeah. All right, you are set. All right, here we go.
All right. What's up, beautiful souls? Welcome to another episode of the Spiritual Psychiatrist Podcast. We're continuing with our new format and we're going to refine it and perfect it as best as we can. But our intention is really to answer as many questions. So thank you so much for those people who are bringing their questions. And, I always say it, the truth will set us free. Okay. And the truth is that 90 something percent of humans are literally out there thinking that they're third dimensional beings. They're living from their 3D mind. And this is why scientists say like 90 something percent of our brain people are not using. They're literally using only a maximum of 10% of their brain. Can you imagine what would happen if human beings started to utilize more of their multi-dimensional mind? So the fourth, fifth, and sixth stranded DNA is the soul. What New Agers call the soul is what Sigmund Freud, one of the fathers of psychiatry, called the super conscious mind. So you have a super conscious mind, and check this out. This part of you cannot hurt you. It only has your highest evolutionary potential in mind. But 90 something percent of all psychiatric conditions, when I was working in LA as a psychiatrist for 10 plus years, are people thinking that they're their thoughts. 3D mind, thinking that they're 3D. Thoughts will come and go. Feelings will come, they will go. Experiences will come, they will go. It's like a cloud of frequency coming and going. Who is the one behind the thoughts experiencing? Who is the one behind the thoughts thinking? And there are never been a better time to be alive than now, because literally there's so many tools for anybody who is hungry for the truth, because the truth will set you free. For anybody who wants to help their uncle with schizophrenia, for anyone who wants to help their daughter who's struggling thinking that they are their thoughts, there's never been a better time to be alive. And what people really want is freedom. That's what people really want. And freedom is our birthright. And now we are here in this podcast to help catalyze a new global paradigm of mental health. And this is what happened to me 2 weeks before I was about to become a partner at one of LA's biggest psychiatric hospital firms. I learned this truth because I was literally sitting there trying to help people. I was like, they would come in and I'd be like, hey, trying to reason with them, trying to give them the breath work, trying to tell them about yoga, and literally psychiatrists, they don't even have time. They just listen to a list of symptoms and they give you a prescription which numbs the mind. 99% of every single psychiatric condition is people identifying with their thoughts as if they're thoughts. You are not your thoughts. But as soon as you are able to connect to your super conscious mind, literally your soul, the right thoughts, words, attitudes, and beliefs start trickling in, and you remember who you are. And then those thoughts, words, and attitudes and become feelings. And those feelings, D2 emotional body, communicates with the D1 physical body. And literally the epigenetics gets the coding, and it starts to code in proteins according to the truth. And the truth is that you are worthy. The truth is that you were created to stand out, not fit in. You were not created to fit into a box of symptoms that psychiatrists sponsored by pharmaceutical companies literally have created to help you fit into a sick society. The truth is that society is sick, not your child. And the truth is that your child is able to sense frequencies that other people cannot, because their fourth, fifth, and sixth stranded DNA is online, because they're on a soul contract. But the society trying to get them to fit into a box of 3D frequency when they were created to stand out and to integrate their soul and to feel and see things that 90-something% of humanity cannot see or feel. They're not psychotic. They're here to help. And there are sensitivity, but their sensitivity is a gift. And if we can together remember the truth and literally create centers and spaces, safe spaces for these children who have been labeled as major depressive disorder, who have been labeled as schizophrenic, who have been labeled as alcoholic. But the truth behind it is it's not what's the addiction, it's what's the underlying trauma that they're trying to cover up, right? And so there's a new global paradigm of mental health that is arising, which is based on the true word of psychiatry, which, check this out, psychiatry. Do you know what psyche even means? Where the word psychiatry comes from? It means soul. But over the years, the DSM-5 and pharmaceutical companies and big pharma have literally taken out the concept of the soul and made human beings into a 3D linear, the greatest lie ever told to humanity is that we're 3D. No, we're not. We're multidimensional. And the fourth, fifth, and sixth stranded multidimensional self is the soul. And so humanity has been trying to treat psychiatry as if they don't have a soul, horizontally band-aiding symptoms, trying to fix the serotonin. But that is not addressing the horizontal. You can try to do the symptoms all you want unless you take care of the reconnection to the soul, to the higher self. The right thoughts, words, and attitudes come in, and then it gives you the right proteins, which is the horizontal. Does that make sense? So there's only one disease, and that's a disconnection from your higher self. And there's never been a better time to be alive. And that's why, literally, there's a mental health quote unquote crisis, but I'm telling you, the answer is already here, and it's inside of your DNA, which is your fourth, fifth, and sixth stranded DNA, which is your soul, which is where the word psyche originally came from, and which is why I wrote the book, The Spiritual Guide to Mental Health, and which is why you can literally, there's technologies now that you can literally do 10 years of therapy in 4 hours by reconnecting you to your higher self. And there's technology now where you can do that in a safe space consistently. And for those people who really want to be free, who really want to know the truth of who they are, who really want to be free. Been a better time to be alive than now. And that's one of the reasons that we started this podcast, is to help share some of these truths of the truth of who you really are, so you can be free. We are free. We are free. We are free. So here we go, guys. All right. So let's dive in today. We're going to do a live Q&A session today, and we're just going to try to add as much value and share as much truth as possible. So if you have any questions on really anything, feel free to ask away, and we're going to dive into the live Q&A session for today. Hi, can you hear me?
Well, hello. I didn't expect this so quick. Yeah, it took me a little bit to get on the technology here. So yeah, good morning. Dr. Lee, care if I call you Sam, or what do you prefer?
Whatever feels good. Samuel, Sam, Sammy, Dr. Lee, whatever. Yeah. All good.
Okay. All right, Sam. Well, I wrote this down just so that I could try to keep it concise, because I woke up with this in my mind, and then I saw your post that you're going live with a Q&A. So I was like, all right, here we go. Excellent.
Awesome.
So
fire away.
Good morning. So the Western medicine world of psychiatry, you left the Western world of psychiatry to do what you do now. I've been a radiation therapist for 20 years, and the progressive realization of what this modality taught me compared to your disease thoughts you share now have brought me to an exciting crossroads of what will I be doing next to help people find their own healing. So being a direct descendant of Rockefeller and learning as if drinking from a fire hose, I'm looking at how to transition into something more aligned with eternal source life. I'm currently 9 weeks into your Eternal Life program and working hard to incorporate this in my daily life. So I do feel that I hold space and open to new conversations with patients as they're also learning, new ways to treat cancer. So thank you for your amazing energy and consistent message you're always openly sharing. And P.S. Machu Picchu grid work June 19th.
Oh, cool.
I'll be there.
That resonates. Like, that feels really good. It's target number 5,
I'll be
Machu
there.
Picchu, Peru. Awesome, brother. Yeah, and I really appreciate that question. There's so much there. It's not even a question. It's you're on the path already, and I can already feel it radiating from you. And if people really want to know what is my purpose, there's a perfection, brother, to where you were born, to literally every single step of the way. I really believe like every single step is preparing you for the next step. And the fact that you're even mentioning Machu Picchu grid work and you're on week 9 of the DNA course just lets me know that you're on the right way. You're on the right path, and everything you've done in the past is preparing you for what's to come here. With that being said, there's a lot of keywords there that I just want to touch on. And you said Rockefeller. So the whole Rockefeller system was meant to literally, and there's no bad or good for that time in that system. It was helpful, but it was literally created to create factory workers, people, good factory workers in a system that was created to keep people in a 3D system and to keep them controlled. And now we're in this great time where there's a great awakening happening, and brother, it's happening within you. And so the answer is found within. Take a look within. You will find you are who you've been looking for. But take a look within where? The 4th, 5th, and 6th stranded DNA is literally the soul or the super conscious mind. So if you're doing the DNA techniques every day from 12 to 11, which is your Buddhic, Nirvanic, Christic mind, there's a frequency flowing down to your oversoul 987, which is literally your oversoul mind, down to your 6, 5, and 4. So your 6th DNA strand is your angelic mind. Your 5th DNA strand is your archetypal mind. So pretty soon you might start getting like, oh, hey, I'm a king. Let me integrate that part of me. Oh, hey, I'm a magician. That's your archetypal mind. Oh, hey, I'm whatever. Like there's different archetypes that you're going to start coming across. And that's your 5th DNA strand. So, and then that comes down to your 4th DNA strand. The cool thing is your 4th, 5th, and 6th stranded DNA, it holds your reason for incarnating. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be out there and they're going to try to say like, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? What's my purpose? But if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. So at the end of the day, the doing comes from being. So your purpose is not to do anything. Your purpose is to fully embody a coherent connection signal, not only to your 4th, 5th, and 6th strand, it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but the eternal source, and to radiate and oscillate that in an authentic way, and to clear, if you want to call it, the trauma and the things and the karma, which is literally frozen light in the body. But when you're doing these techniques, it's going to clear that out of your body, and it's going to bring a coherence to your higher self, because you are who you've been looking for. And like a radio signal, you're going to start transmitting your authentic frequency, and that is your purpose. Because across space and time, when that's connected, I'm talking multidimensional. There's a frequency where there's no disease. There's a frequency where there's no time. So you're literally going to be broadcasting across all space and time your core, not only soul frequency, your oversoul frequency, and your avatar Cristo self. And eventually there is no space and time. Like in all space and time, your core frequency will be vibrating, oscillating when you're just present. And that you will attract what you are. Your core frequency will begin to attract to you everything that is in alignment with your core base pulse rhythm frequency. So the right course at the right time, the right lover at the right time, the right lesson at the right time. And it's not like the easy path, because there is a key moment where you have to decide, I'm going to leave the comforts of my 20-year job as soon as you know, and the comforts, the security of that 9 to 5 and that system, because it does provide a sense of, if you want to call it like false security, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to have a retirement plan. I'm going to have a pension plan. I'm not going to have to worry about anything. But the moment your higher self comes online and it tells you 2 weeks before you're about to become a partner, quit your job, it only has your highest evolutionary path in mind, not your comfort, your highest evolutionary potential. and Earth is a school, and we're here to learn how to evolve in love. And so kudos to you for tuning into that and following that. That came from your higher self. And that higher self, it's not a voice. It's not like a loud voice. No, when you're going back and forth, that's your mind. That's your mind. But when it's like just a clear knowing, you have about 5 seconds to act on it. Because if you don't act on it, your mind's going to come in and give you the 20 reasons not to do it, right? So you just got to decipher which voice is which. The voice of your higher self is a still, quiet, cognitive knowing. It's just a knowing. Oh, I'm supposed to go to Peru. Oh, I'm okay. And then your mind will say, what, you don't have the money, but like, you just got to like learn how to follow that. And if you continue to flow with that, I'm telling you, brother, like life becomes a journey, a celebration beyond. It's not necessarily comfortable physically, but it has your highest evolutionary path in mind, your hero's journey, brother, and you're on it. I feel it. I see it. So congratulations, and just continue to listen and clear and keep that channel clear and flow with that. Well,
thank you so much. I mean, I know it's not going to be easy, but I do hard really good, so if it's not giving me bumps, I know I'm not trying. So
yeah. Amazing, brother. They're good for you. Good for that. You're on your hero's path journey. Kudos to you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah.
Good to see you. Yeah.
We'll see you around. I know,
Sounds good. You let me know about June 15th.
Yeah, I'll put it in, in the other link, and put the question out there and more details that we can, get more, work it out as we get closer to it. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. And then I have an exciting event in Shasta, like the next month when I get back. I've been going up there and on my free time doing events and doing the sound and music and stuff for those. That's some of the fire host stuff that I've met all those different kinds of people and seen the inside, the backside, the top side, and how all that business works, and taking it openly and seeing that everybody's on their own path, and everybody starts somewhere and everybody is where they are, so it's pretty exciting. So
beautiful, bro. You're on the path, man. Like, keep it going. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We'll see you.
All right. See you later. Keep it flowing, brother. Hi. 1 second here. I gotta mute something on my computer. Okay. Hi. Can you hear me?
Hi, Dr. Lee.
Hi. How can I help you?
Can you hear me now?
I can. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can hear you. Yeah, it's good. Can you hear me?
I don't have any earphones. Maybe switch someone else.
Okay. Hello.
Hey there.
Nice sweater, brother.
I'll scoot over so my camera can actually see what's going on here. How's it going, Dr. Lee?
Good. How you doing?
Doing wonderful. I just real recap. I went through a lot of things last year. Got labeled bipolar 1 after I wrecked a $46,000 truck the day after I bought it, right? And I knew that wasn't bipolar 1 at the time. And since then I've left my 6-figure job and a leap of faith and found you back in July. I joined the Eternal Life tribe and all that. And just kind of slowly been getting into things, but now currently on week 5 of the 12-stranded DNA course. I'm also doing the Limitless Journal every day. And then I'm also doing like another thing outside of you called a Codex to Liberation breathwork course. It's really helping me get in touch with some of my inner child stuff and stuff when I was younger and releasing some of those traumas and stuff that we have built inside of us, right? So right now in this specific time, I'm in the best place spiritually, mentally, emotionally that I've ever been in my life. And it's a beautiful thing. It's almost like heaven on earth, like you described. And I know I'm on the right path. I'm number 44 out of 50 here, buddy. So I'll be 44 this year. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
hey, I just turned 44.
There you go. So you know what I mean? Like I'm turning 44 in February. So yeah, like I had a beautiful day snowboarding yesterday with my son. First time I've snowboarded, and just everything's lining up right now. But for me personally, along with everything else I'm doing, because I'm an all or nothing kind of person that goes in and lets my body catch up to my mind later kind of thing. So I'm currently in a lot of like Kundalini yoga and different things like that, just for the morning kind of routine with all the meditations I do with your stuff afterwards. And then dieting, working out, other things that we can better ourselves during during these processes. Like, what are some of your thoughts on that, or what do you do personally with your diet and working out? I know everybody's different and whatnot, but I personally do intermittent fasting throughout the day, 24 protocol, and I did a 120-hour fast, not too long ago. So I'm just experimenting because I'm genuinely curious about the different things that we can push our body to do, and the spiritual places that we come to when we do that, and more in tune with ourselves to get to these higher states of consciousness, right? So what are your thoughts on some of those things that can go along with our journey and help better ourselves?
Yeah, first of all, kudos to you. You're on your perfect journey already. And it's not about a destination, it's about the journey, right? So it's really about learning, because once you get to the top of one mountain, you're going to realize there's another mountain. So I've got a tattoo that says discipline plus enjoy equals freedom. Right? So enjoying the journey, enjoying the process, enjoying that snowboarding trip with your son, enjoying the Kundalini, right? With the discipline interfused with it, right? And so I just want to point that out. There's no final destination. It's a process of remembering, and there's layers on layers on layers to the multidimensional wisdom, unconditional love, badassness of consciousness. And literally, brother, you can literally study about it, pump it forever. But the beautiful thing is you have this quality, which some truth seekers have, not all of them, which is you're hungry for the truth. And you're tasting moments of freedom. So the truth will set you free, right? And you're doing the work, the breath work, the Kundalini, and they're all stages of awakening. But there's no final one destination. And so what I would say is, and then you also said something about the body will catch up. Sure, that's how I was too. So everybody has their own path. I'm also aware of in that path, sometimes the body literally has to catch up. So don't negate the body. But what I will say is, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of frequency.
Frequency, energy, vibration.
So for every stage of consciousness, there's going to be a different diet, a different practice, a different perhaps tool or technology that resonates. And the beautiful thing about this entire process is, in the process, what you're really doing is knowing thyself. When you spend time with yourself, you will know yourself. When you know yourself, you will trust yourself, because you are the source, right? And so as you begin to trust yourself, it's your DNA. You begin to trust your DNA resonance. Does this resonate as truth? If it does this diet for this season, am I just doing this diet because this influencer said this? Or no, when I really eat this food, I feel the resonance, and it's in alignment with the intention of the direction that I want to go, which is freedom and truth, right? And for every season, there might be a different diet. For example, when you're trying to ground in, and you're trying to be centered, and you're trying to build muscle, right? There's no good or bad. Spirituality is awareness. So when you go to these multidimensional spaces, you're going to become more aware of the multidimensional wisdom, unconditional love, and power of you. And with this awareness, it gives you a choice. Nothing is good or bad. And so in alignment with what you want to do, but the end path of all spiritual paths is service. Doesn't matter if you do Buddhism, Hinduism, the 12-strand DNA course, at the end of that. And so it's going to come down to the question, how can I use my creative abilities, what I love doing, to somehow have fun, enjoy the journey, and utilize everything that I love doing, and to create something which adds value in its own unique way to other people, and then to be able to convert that into doing what I love with who I love whenever I want. And that's freedom. And you've attained freedom. And from there, you just have more consciousness, more awareness to choose the best version of you. And your future, probably self 10 years from now, that's your hero. And it's a continuous journey. And eventually you're going to get to the point where you realize, I'm already it. I'm playing with house money. There's nothing I can do to be better than God. There's nothing I can do to be God is in me. No matter where I go to hell, God's still with me, right? And once you entrain that into your subconscious, and you know that to be true so intimately, then there's life becomes oh, cool. Let's go for it. Let's You know what I mean? And it sounds and it feels like, brother, you're already going for it. You're already doing it. Like your schedule, your flow right now. So trust yourself. And you can't bypass. What I mean by that is like, for every level of growth, there's going to be a diet, a lesson, an integration, right? And the body's important for that, right? And when you integrate it, then the next layer of love consciousness will reveal itself. The next layer of God, if you want to call it, right? And it's this continuous, beautiful journey of enjoying the journey, being present with it. And then if you continue to hold that intention, like, yo, I came to earth, I want to know as much as I can about source. I want to experience an amazing, fun life. And I want to help people doing it, right? As you continue to hold that intention, that will continue to unfold within your process. And then eventually you're going to get that knowing, like, I'm already it. I'm playing with house money. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And I do realize that, because that's exactly what's going on. And once I just release that, and I do know that God is within us, and I'm generally just curious about all the things I've never done in life now. So I'm like looking into different sources and just like putting my own collective consciousness, together in my head with what's going on around me and how these things can attain to my journey. So I do appreciate everything you're doing. And I am looking into the heart protocol as well, because I would like to see that in person. That seems like a really good opportunity just to experience that at least once. And I think everybody should do that. But yeah, I appreciate your time, and I'm looking forward to the journey.
Yeah.
I know we'll see each other soon enough, brother.
Sounds good, brother. A whole new world.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
get ready, brother. Get ready. Yeah. But like, bro, you're on the path. You're doing it. You're crushing it. And I love the word that you said. Stay curious. Curiosity leads to clarity. Right.
Use imagination.
Question. That's right.
Imagination.
Ask the right question, and the right answer will start coming forward. So good to see you, brother. Stay on the path, brother. You're doing it. You're it.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
Hi, Dr. Lee.
Hi.
Hi, from New Zealand.
Oh,
Great
wow.
to
Yeah.
meet this
Cool.
morning.
I've always wanted to travel to New Zealand. I heard it's like super beautiful in New Zealand.
It is. It's gorgeous. Look at it. You have to come
That
visit.
is,
It
yeah.
will be where the heart chakra. So once I have my bee healing hut ready, you'll have to come visit.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
So we went through a natural disaster here, and we lost our home, and we had the ability to navigate through it, to rebuild, to battle the biggest insurers here, battle councils, battle everyone really. And through that, I've started my own charity, and I'm helping people recover and get through it. So for me, I just really want to understand, when you've been in survival mode for so long, what tools and sort of practices would you suggest that could help to get your body out of that survival mode and into creation? Because for me, this year is all about creation, and I think there's a really special spot there to help people heal. And in New Zealand, there aren't any charities really that are kind of to do with energy and spirit, and really focusing on how we can come back to resonance. And that's why I want to do this bee healing, because I feel that there's some kind of connection there with the bees and the land. And for some reason, I've been called back to my homeland to do this. I don't know what it is, but I feel this calling to the land. So I just really want to know, is there anything that you do daily to kind of help yourself, to bring your best self, to have that energy and that level to be able to get through? Because I guess these times are pretty chaotic. It's hard to find that peace and that zen, and just to always come back to yourself and to sort of be that energy that can really sort of be great for people,
Yeah. You hit so many keywords there. The prerequisite for healing is safety. Parasympathetic.
Yeah.
And if you're not in parasympathetic, you're in, sympathetic, which is not bad. It just means that you're on the go, you're using energy. And sometimes you're fighting some type of unexpected stressor, right? So the first prerequisite for healing is safety, to come into parasympathetic. And what I found in my journey is to prioritize that in a systematic way after you know yourself and you understand like what your flow is, what your passion is. I think there's a lot of beautiful words you said that are in tune. There's no accident why you moved to your homeland. There's a frequency resonance like birds use to electromagnetic grid, right? So when you're in touch with your intuition, you'll be called to the right land. And there's a DNA connection from your DNA to the land. and no accidents there. So you're exactly in the right place at the right time always. But then what I found is tension is who you think you should be. Relaxation is who you are. And safety is the prerequisite for healing. And so create a schedule and a rhythm. Every day has a different, so I don't want to get too deep into it, but like, for example, for me, I'll just share with me, like I found when I do hot yoga once a week on Sunday night, okay, it keeps me in a flow of, okay, before the Monday begins, I go into this relaxed state. I love getting foot massages once a week because on Saturday nights, because it brings the energy from my head, who I think I should be, down to my feet. And I find myself, I have a very relaxed sleep and I'm more relaxed. Right. And then I found every morning when I start with early morning sun and sun gazing and my 12-strand DNA technique, it brings me into this frequency of abundance and alignment. And so for an hour every morning, I do early morning sun gazing. And then I've scheduled in, different types of diet, intermittent fasting. So my whole life, actually, my whole weekly schedule is a systematic arrangement of knowing myself from the past of what's worked, what hasn't worked, what tools work, to help my body continuously stay in a state of parasympathetic safety. Because it's from that state I can actually receive downloads. It's from that state I can heal. It's from that state I can create. And so acupuncture does that for me, foot massages. But then I take all those tools that I've learned that put me in that state, and I systematically create a flow and a rhythm in my week. And I'm still getting better at this. Like we always have room. Like we intend to do this, but life happens, right? So be gracious with yourself, number one, always. And then really know yourself and be honest with yourself. In order for my body to feel safe and in parasympathetic and in a state of creation, I need these things regularly scheduled, once a week this, once a week this, and every morning 30 minutes of this. And then you just kind of know yourself and collect your tools and put those tools. Don't wait until you're like in a panic attack. No, put them in right away, right? And into a flow, a rhythmic schedule. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I hear you. That's great. I've started, I do sound, the breath work. I've really committed to breath work. It's helped me enormously. It's been amazing. Good. But I'm very thankful for seeing your work and just watching it and coming through. It just takes me to different places and really makes me expand. So thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Stay on the, you're right. Like this is always my message. Congrats. You're already it. You're doing it. You are it. And your purpose is to be fully you. And
yes.
How cool is that? Like to be in New Zealand, in your homeland, and to be helping, so much has happened in New Zealand, I'm sure, like with everything, and to be helping in that mission, that's really cool. So yeah, good to see you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Hi.
Hi.
Doctors. How are you? I'm Alexandra.
Hi.
And I'm in Los Angeles.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it's been really great coming across you and everything that you're offering, because I've really felt a lot of resonance with all of it. It's been, cool. I've come across some of this material over the years and just getting deeper into it now with you. And I just feel like it's been extremely helpful.
Awesome.
So my question is, so I often wake up like really tired and kind of feeling strained. And then I've correlated that to some degree with during the night, I'm just have really charged nights, like so much dreaming going on and so much going on. And I've noticed that oftentimes when I wake up, like I did this morning, extremely tired, it comes from like, I also correlated that with the fact that I have so many dreams going on. And so I've also been listening to like a group of people that talk about autonomy and breatharians and not sleeping even. And I've just listened to some of this on YouTube, and, I don't know any of them personally, although I have met a couple of breatharians, but anyways, and I just wondered, like, if like too much sleep, too much food or something like that could have to do with this, kind of, it just made me like more curious about the necessity of sleep and everything that we've been taught about needing so many hours of sleep, etc. to,
I love that you're asking the right questions, right? So ask these questions, and then always, my always message is like, trust yourself, right? So like, don't trust the breatharian. Although I went to a breatharian retreat, I've done all these things, right? But I also did a podcast about the original intention of sleep. So check out my YouTube, and there's I go into it for about an hour and a half. But every night when you sleep, your consciousness, most people are going to what is called the lower fourth astral world. If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of frequency. So your consciousness, 3D, it's like an opportunity for your consciousness to travel. And in the lower fourth astral world, there's disembodied energies, entities, what people call. And if there's a frequency, right, then people are going to come back in the morning and not feel rested. And they're going to feel groggy, and they're going to feel like they literally had a battle in their sleep, because they did, right? And this is not bad. So it's not necessarily about the hours exactly that you sleep, although science has shown that, Huberman's studies show, and all the research that he's doing, sleep is important. Like, when you go into REM, you're restoring your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual body, right? So I think that's scientifically proven. Now, how many hours? Yes, I know science is 7 to 9 hours. But every body and individual is unique. And this is what I don't think science understands, is for every stage of awakening. Yes, the ancient yogis, right? It's all about energy. So they only had to literally sleep 3, 4, 5 hours max, because they were literally sun gazing. And that's how breatharians get their energy, is through early morning sun and breath. They don't even need food. So if you're doing a lot of that plus the early morning sun affects your circadian rhythm, right? So then your rhythm of when you sleep, how you sleep. So they would go to sleep at like 10, wake up at 2, 3, 4, right? But everybody's different. And it depends on your level of consciousness and your stage of awakening. So I can't sit here and say, yes, generally for most people, 7 to 9 hours is important. But however, if you're really on the advanced spiritual path doing breatharian, all the ancient yogis only slept about 4 or 5 hours, and there's a reason why, and that was optimal for them. So it's about really, once again, knowing yourself. And then also I did a deep dive into sleep, and when you sleep, recency and intention matters. So right before you go to sleep, if you watch a horror movie, that's going to bleed through most likely into your sleep, because it was recency. So I highly recommend and I'm always working on this too. It's about an hour before sleep you put on your blue blocking glasses, to have a wind down. And then the last 5-10 minutes before, I have a free sleep meditation that I share on Instagram. I also I just did a video about like some words you can speak to say the invisible world has to listen to your words. So if you're saying, hey, I only want to connect with my eternal self while I sleep, then recency and intention, and you're listening to a nice soothing meditation, and you're prepared to go into sleep, then your consciousness, when it leaves, it's not going to just go into automatically default, if you're not doing anything, into the lower fourth astral world. And it's going to like be, in the astral world with ghosts and all, I don't even know, like all different types of energies and entities. And when you come back, even if you slept 7 to 9 hours, you're going to feel tired, because you're fighting your whole sleep. Your consciousness comes back to your body when you wake up, right? And so recency and intention and having a routine before sleep can help. And then also really tuning into what path do you want to take. It sounds like you're on a path. Most people who find me are on a path of like wanting to go deep into consciousness. And if you're already talking about breatharianism and things like that, then then cool. Then really tune into what you want, right? I want to go as deep into consciousness, and I want to do an hour of early morning sun gazing, and I want to breathe the early morning sun into and I want to then you might have to really start tuning in. Maybe only 4, 5, 6 hours is the right amount for me, right? And I can't tell you everybody's on their unique path, but these are a few things. I would say recency, intention, having a routine an hour before bed, wearing blue blocking glasses, listening to a nice soothing meditation, crystal bowls. I have some for free that, I have on my Instagram or my Gumroad. and then really also speaking a few words right before you fall asleep that makes it very clear to your higher self where you want to go and what you want to do during your sleep. And it's not always bad, because sometimes sleep is also utilized by people. Their conscious mind will utilize sleep because as a time to bypass the conscious mind and to release old trauma, to release subconscious programming, to release. So it's not always bad, because sometimes your conscious mind, your soul needs that space to bypass the conscious mind to help you in that space. And so that could also be what's happening as well. But everything is energy, and sleep is a beautiful, amazing time to restore your energy on physical, emotional, mental, spiritual plane. But the beautiful thing is, once you get pretty clear and you have recency and intention, I mean, you can do all kinds of things in your sleep. You can go and you've opened up your multidimensional self. You can go to healing temples. You can literally go there and you can wake up in your sleep, a dream within a dream, inception. And you can say to your organs, hey, I'm going to heal my liver right now in my sleep. You can do all kinds of things. And this is what all of the ancient yogis were doing. And sleep becomes almost like a practice, a mini death every single night. There is no death. So if you master how you transition, it's just transitioning states of consciousness when you sleep, and it's like a mini death every night. And if you master how to stay conscious in that transition, you'll never be afraid of death again. And because you'll know death is not real, and you'll have practiced it every single night. And so with that being said, then once you die, before you die, then you truly start to live, because you're just awake, you're aware all the time, whether you're, in the day or at night. So.
Yeah, that's helpful. Yeah, I guess it's the consciousness, applying more consciousness to it, I suppose, because so much unconsciousness happens at that time, it seems. So it's a good time to, that's what I want. I mean, I want to bring more consciousness to the whole experience of sleep. So
cool. Yeah. And what you want is your intention, and intention is a magnetic frequency. So if you just hold that intention, you will attract. If you really say to your higher, just say to your higher self, I want to maintain consciousness through sleep. Well, guess what? If you hold that intention, you're probably going to get introduced to all different types of techniques, herbs, flowers, because it's a magnetic frequency that radiates intention 5 to 15 feet in all directions. It will attract to you everything you need if you hold that intention pure and steady to accomplish that intention. And that's when I started praying 7 years ago for a new global paradigm of mental health. And I'm telling you, I couldn't all these technologies and all these things started coming to me, and because I held that intention steady for 7 years. So I think that's a super cool intention to master sleep and to maintain consciousness through sleep. And, you will attract everything you need to accomplish that. And I think that's a super cool intention. Yeah.
And the Limitless Journal is helping me to anchor that, to sort of hold the intention.
It's like a check-in at night, a check-in in the morning.
Right.
I've been doing it too. It's been helpful.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. All right. Thank you so much. All right, beautiful souls. I think one more or?
Well, that was the last one.
Oh, that was the last one. Okay, cool. All right, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining this week. We're going to continue to improve as best as we can to offer as much value to as many people as possible. So we'll announce the next one pretty soon, but it's going to be a weekly thing. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful week, and I'll see you next week. Peace.